Hey, what's up, Will? How's it going, man?
Good. How are you doing, Figsy?
Yeah, I'm really good, man. Thanks for asking. Another week, episode 57. We're still going.
Oh man, the wheels are about to fall off on this thing. I can just feel it. I'm kidding. It's going strong. Let's go for 100. Yeah, shit. What's new with
Yeah,
you?
I'm sure we'll make it to 100 at this point. We've got heaps of plans for the future for the show. So yeah, thanks for everyone for watching. What have you been up to this week, Will?
Oh, not much, not much. I was hoping to show some pickups, but everything's in the mail. No, nothing's here yet. Hopefully, I'll have them by next week. We'll see.
It's like that. I didn't get any pickups this week either. Not video game related, anyway.
No, I had some pickups, but I blew them all on the last midweek show, so I got nothing to show. I was in the podcast chat, and I was begging for memes because I fucking run out. I'm not used to that pace, but no, I put everybody emptied their pockets and they came up with some, so we're good to go.
I'm feeling for Pavel having to pump out multiple quizzes.
I have a feeling he just sits there and he takes his pen or his laptop, whatever, and he's just like, "How am I going to fuck Will up this week?" And that's how he comes up with this shit.
Hey, Will, do you know anything about this? No question.
They're all the questions. Man. No, but so who do we have? Who do we have on this evening, Figs?
So tonight we've got Kleen coming on. Kleen is a collector from America. He's going for, I believe, a full PS3 set. He's pretty much just collecting everything for the PS3. He's doing lots of like international stuff. He's one of the moderators over on my Discord channel. He's really active on there, trading with heaps of people in the group. And yeah, please welcome Kleen to the podcast, guys. What's up, man? How you going?
What's up, guys?
What's up, Kleen? How you doing?
Not bad at all.
Good to hear. So I was asking, because I like to do my homework on the guests, and I was asking Figsy, where can I find this guy? Where's he? Where can I find out about him? He's like, he's just Discord, and that's it.
That's it. Discord is my social media, man. I'm not really a social media guy, so Discord is where I get my interactions.
No, it's good because there's no ads on there. All the other social media platforms are so full of ads. It's the only one that's free and has no ads.
Yeah.
No, I'm old, so I'm still stuck on Facebook. And
Bill needs to see an ad between every single post. To keep
I don't get his. I don't see the problem. He's just like that. Boom, done.
My thing is, I just don't like too many people for me. Like thousands of people in a group. I like the Discords where it's a little more tight knit. Everyone knows each other. I don't know.
Yeah, 100%. I know exactly what you mean. I'm in big groups and I don't chat in them because they're.
But I'll be honest. One of my biggest regrets is not joining one of the Facebook groups earlier, because I didn't know so much shit about PS3 and what's rare and what's not for years. And if I had joined the Facebook group in like 2015, 2016, I'd be a lot better off. But yeah, I mean, I check it. I'm in the Facebook group and I check it occasionally. I just never really post.
Well, tell us about your collection, man.
Sure. Yeah. So I am a PS3 only collector at this point. I wasn't always that way. Years back, I had some Wii, DS, PSP, stuff like that. But over the years, I've kind of sold it all off for PS3 stuff. Just kind of consolidated into one thing so I can go hard in that. And yeah, I started collecting Well, I guess I should start. I wasn't always a PS3 guy. I was a 360 guy. That's where my name's from. It was my 360 gamer tag back when I was playing Call of Duty tournaments and shit. I got a PS3 in like 2015 and started off just buying games to play, and kind of realized at that time how cheap PS3 was. And that was back when GameStop still had giant PS3 shelves. I think they got rid of their PS3 stuff like 2017 roughly. So, and I should say also, I started the collection with my brother. So the first like 500-600 games, we were both buying shit. So we would go into GameStops and there'd be like crazy sales sometimes. Like I remember buy 3 get 3 sale sales, and we would walk out with like 50 games, 60 games at a time. And that's where I got a lot of my NTSC stuff at the start. But yeah, GameStop stopped carrying that stuff, and it got a little less easy. But yeah, that's how I started, and just kept going over the years. That was like 2016 I started, 2015, 16, and I've been going ever since.
Are all the GameStops in your area just completely barren of PS3 stuff? Because
they at some point in like 2017 they went from giant shelf of PS3 to like maybe you could find like 20 games on a little rack. Like they got rid of at least a lot of the GameStops around me just got rid of most of their PS3 stuff. Yeah,
and I think you nailed it on the head when you said the free for buy free get free games. It was the same in Australia. They were doing like crazy sales on Wii games, PS3 games, 360 games. And you ask them like, what's going on? And it's like, well, we're getting rid of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like next year, you won't be able to trade them in anymore. And like they were giving next to no money for trade-ins at that time. So it was like the transition into next gen.
Yeah, and that was back when there were very few expensive games, so you could just get everything.
Oh man, I'm waiting as a PS4 collector. I'm waiting for that twilight of the PS4 to come out, so I could just clean up over in GameStop. But still waiting. Here, GameStops, you can find maybe a dozen, but a dozen of 10, 20 games on
exactly
a little shelf over there. Next to the garbage. It's just it's just ignored and forgotten. But whenever new consoles in, the old stuff's out. Well, in GameStop anyway. It's gonna be sad when they finally go away.
Well, they're not doing it for PS4 games because you can buy PS4 games and play them on the PS5. So the PS4 games are going to stay in stores.
No, Sony's going to phase them out eventually.
Probably take longer though.
Yeah, Sony will, but I think like GameStop and EB Games and shops will keep selling them like they used to with PS1 games. I remember going into EB Games in like 2004, 2005, and you're still seeing. Even like 2008, 2007, 2008, and you're still seeing PS1 games being sold because they can still be played on the systems that they sell. It makes sense.
There are a few, I've heard tell, I've never seen one here locally, but of these retro GameStops where you can go in and get retro stuff. Do you have any in your area, Kleen? You know what I'm talking about?
I've never heard of that, no.
No, there's a few GameStops out there, and they'll take your NES crap in for trade, and they'll put it on the shelves. But those like specialty stores, I guess like one in every 30. I don't know. It's to me, it's still a myth because I've never seen one. But
I've never seen one either, and I have like 20 GameStops around me. So
I've seen people do YouTube videos where they'll order from them, and they'll order like 200 Pokemon games from GameStop, and they'll see how many fake ones are in there. And there was a time when GameStop first started this service, and they were really bad with fakes. And over time, they've obviously gotten a lot better because they obviously would have had to start refunding customers, etc. Yeah, it might have been part of the reason why you don't see it in every store.
Yeah,
you have to train people up to be able to, pull apart carts and distinguish if they're fake or not, and especially for expensive games, if there's money to be made, unfortunately, there's shady people out there that will do dodgy things.
Shady people and dodgy things. This should be the name of the podcast.
Everything relates to that.
Kleen, you mentioned you're heavy into COD, Call of Duty in the 360. Were you competitive gaming, or you just for shits and giggles?
Yeah, I don't know if you heard of game battles. It was like a ladder back in the day that people would play on, like a online ladder with rankings and stuff. Me and my friends would play tons of that, search and destroy tournaments and all that. I'm really into competitive games in general, honestly. I'd say 95% of my gaming is PC multiplayer games. So, yeah, I always liked competitive gaming.
And you ever make any money at it, or just?
Not really. Most money I've made off games is years ago in League of Legends. I boosted my friend to a high rank for $400, but that's the closest that gets.
I don't know what that is.
Just a
Jeez.
popular PC game.
No, I know the game, but what is boosting?
Oh, just like logging into his account and ranking him up.
So he just go to work or school and then come home and then boom, he's 20 levels higher.
Yeah.
It's such a prevalent service these days.
Yeah,
and
it's huge.
People selling, I'll get you to this rank for this amount of money and different things like that.
I sold an account. It was a phone game. I got hooked onto it. I put a couple $100 into it over time with the the microtransactions, whatever you call it. And I sold the thing for $250. It was Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So yeah, I guess I follow what you're saying.
I was telling Figsy the other day, I have a horror story with selling accounts. I played a lot of old school. I played a ton of RuneScape in my life, probably my most played game. And in old school RuneScape, I maxed an account, which takes years and years and years. I had like 350 days in game time.
A whole year.
Yeah. And when I maxed, I kind of got bored of it, so I went to go sell it. And I had it listed on some auction. So I went about it in such a stupid way, but yeah, basically I got hacked in the process. I tried to sell it for $1,500 and I got hacked in the process. So yeah, that sucked.
So they just took the account from you? Is that it? Or
yeah, they within seconds he changed the email associated with the account. To this day, I don't know how he did, because my email was never logged into, and you have to log into my email to change the email. I don't know. He was pretty good, but yeah, he fucked me over.
Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
RuneScape's insane. The community on there. There's literally people in like Venezuela who their entire like lives rely on farming gold and selling it in RuneScape, because
they call them Vinnies.
They call them what?
Vinnies. It's like a nickname for Venezuelans that like farm gold.
But because their economy's blown out so much,
yeah,
it's safer to farm gold in that game and sell it for US dollars than it actually is to work. So there's like doctors and stuff who have stopped working and started playing RuneScape full time.
Yeah,
crazy.
Holy shit! This is a side of video gaming.
If you don't know about this, go and after the podcast, go and look up Venezuelan RuneScape.
Yeah, there's some good videos about.
So what are you playing?
Back to your collection, Kleen. What are you collecting these days for the PS3? I've seen that you've been picking up some really awesome stuff.
Yeah, so the last year or two, I've got really addicted to international stuff. I would say up until 2 years ago, I had like 95% NTSC stuff, but I've just gotten really into getting PAL stuff, Region 3, Japanese, just Brazilian, Australian, whatever international stuff. I find it a lot more interesting these days. I kind of got bored of NTSC stuff, to be honest, at a certain point. So yeah, I've been just trading, importing, anything I can, really. Going for a few little subsets, but yeah, I kind of just get whatever I can get a deal on. I'm not like, I don't have crazy priorities on certain things, just whatever I find.
Once you do start going into those international regions, it gets so exciting, because it's like,
yes,
there's so much out
you just constantly find stuff you've never seen before. It's so fun.
You know, it came up in Facebook. It was Luis Heinrich Kuntz. He asked, are Brazilian games, are they part of the PAL set? Are they part of the NTSC set? Are they their own thing? Well, he didn't say. I say they're their own thing.
I consider them separate. Yeah.
You don't think they're PAL or NTSC?
I mean, technically they are PAL, right? But I just consider them separate.
That's interesting, because now, like, if you use what PAL and NTSC is, it goes off the amount of hertz that are used, and like these games are all played on HDMI. So it doesn't even use that.
Well, quite frankly, PAL and NTSC mean nothing in the PlayStation and PS3 realm of scope of reality, because the HDMI cable. But
yeah,
is it North America, or is it Eastern Hemisphere? Is it Western Hemisphere? Where I say it's its own thing.
Yeah, same.
Pigsy,
I even consider Australia its own thing, even though that's just like an extension of PAL too, right? But I kind of consider it separate.
I guess we've always just called it PAL, and we are our own region over here. Like, we're Region 4, where Europe's Region 2.
Okay, yeah.
Well, during the PS2 days, though, you guys were PAL for sure.
Yeah, we were PAL.
And that's
back in
and that's the
Aldo.
leftover. I had a guy in the PS3 and Dead group. He was going nuts. He was getting angry. You can't say that. You can't call it PAL. You can't call it because those are TV signals and there's nothing to do. I was like, dude, calm down. It's just the vernacular we use in the collecting community. But he's right. He's 100% right. They are just TV signals. 50
One
and 60
thing
hertz.
to add argument to is Brazil now use the ESRB logo. They have a very similar thing to it.
They now do? Because they always had this funny, funky the letter inside of a colored box.
All right, I'm thinking of well, Will's correct there, but then look at the side. It's got the
BLUS, yeah.
America use. That's what I was referring to.
Yeah,
so it's got its own thing here. Like
that's a strong argument for it to be. But that's reason one. But
and it's got a different color on the back. So explain that. Where's the consistency?
Yeah, the Brazilian logo I'm used to is this one.
Yep. But then the spine's got the same as the American one.
Yeah.
If you look at the actual game of this, like, oh no, the game's the same. Yeah, it's got the green, and then the spine's like that.
What's the L stand for? Man, it's probably in Portuguese, but nobody knows anyway.
Yeah, it would be one of their ratings.
So, Kleen, when you are finding games, is it all eBay for you? Is you got any local hunts spots that you hunt in, or you hitting up garage sales? Where are you finding stuff?
Garage sales, no. I just never really have luck with garage sales. Thrift stores, same thing. I mean, I've got a few pickups from thrift stores, but I live in such a populated area that those places just get picked over to hell. But yeah, GameStop when that had PS3, a lot of my games are from, like, I'm not sure if it's just Michigan or the Midwest. There's a chain called Disc Replay, and there's other ones like Ohio has like Disc Traders. There's a bunch of names just like disc reselling where they have like DVDs, Blu-rays, games.
Buy, sell, trade.
I've got a ton of games from there since GameStop stopped selling them. I'd say a couple hundred games from there, and then the rest is just eBay. But I try to be smart with eBay. If you just go on eBay and look for a game you want and just buy it, you're gonna overpay for stuff. I'm more of the like save searches, check every day, and just try to find deals on stuff.
I've taken up. I used to hunt. I used to pride myself on hunting 100% in the wild, but now anymore these days it's just eBay.
It's hard, yeah.
Yeah, I hate what I become, but no, it is what it is.
Yeah,
they've gotten pretty good at eBay sniping though. And,
it can be just as fun to try to hunt deals on eBay, and people have the conception that you can't get deals on eBay anymore, but that's just not true at all.
100%. I got a deal on eBay last night. I got a slipcover that I'm going for almost every PS3 slipcover, and I found one that I've been after for like 8 years last night for $20.
Which one?
And the Dragon Ball Z Ray Ultimate Tenchiki limited edition from Australia with the soundtrack.
Yeah,
it's a rare slipcover. Like, I don't own it, and it's just an Australian one. Usually, I'm finding like a bunch and sending them out. But I found it because I typed the name in. I didn't type in Tenchiki, and they spelt Tenchiki wrong. So that's how I found it. So there's some like weird things you got to do with eBay searches.
Yeah. You just gotta close your eyes and hit the keyboard, and then hopefully some asshole did the same mistake.
I have a lot more luck on at least recently. I've had a lot more luck on like UK eBay and Australian eBay. Had people nice enough to let me ship to their houses, Figsy included. So yeah, that opens up a whole new world where I can be not just searching my eBay, but finding deals, especially UK eBay. I've found some really good deals on there.
UK is insane for deals on eBay.
This shit's so cheap over there.
The constraint is shipping, but like Kleen said, if you're shipping it to someone who's nice enough to hold stuff for you, it becomes much more beneficial in doing.
Yeah, I managed to snipe 3 games for $7. It was they're PS4 games. They're AAA titles. It was Batman Arkham, something or the other, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Witcher 3. I don't have these in my collections, and they're but $7 for 3 games plus $5 shipping. Shit, I'll take it all day. But the guy had zero
Feedback.
zero feedback. So, and he's had 6 sales, zero feedback. So I'm guessing he just like started eBay like last week. So I'm over
That's
here.
always scary.
Yeah, well, if the guy doesn't end up shipping, I mean, whatever, I'll get my money back. But $7 came out to $13 and change after everything was said and done for 3 games, 3 AAA titles. Yeah, I'll take it. Let's go.
Yep.
And,
Yeah, you can't complain. It sounds like a new seller, because if you're getting a deal, then it's probably someone who doesn't know what they're doing. If it's on eBay.
And I'm here like a internet predator to take advantage of the fucker. So here we go. Let's ship it out. So what are you playing right now, Kleen? Do you play PS3 at all, or is PS3 just collecting, or are you mostly on your PC?
As I said, I'm like 99% PC. I play PS3 when I'm just trying to like chill in bed, play a single player game. I've been playing Tales of Exilia on PS3 lately. But yeah, I just play PC games. I've been Warzone, Apex Legends, League of Legends, Rocket League. Still play RuneScape, stuff like that. Yeah.
It tells you what you're playing on Discord, and every time I see Kleen, he's always playing RuneScape.
I actually just recently disabled that because I didn't want to make people think I'm playing RuneScape 15 hours a day.
Busted.
Even though you're playing 15 hours a day.
I was just reading through chat, guys, and talking about playing PS3 games. Reggie brings up a good point that make sure you install those PS3 games. And it brings up a few good points. Like if you aren't installing these games today and the servers do eventually go down and there are like day one patches, etc., you might miss out on playing them. Games like Gran Turismo 5 and 6 have got download updates that take hours. Not to mention installing, I think Gran Turismo 6 takes up to like 24 hours. So if you're buying PS3 games to collect and like in your head, you're like, I want to play this one day, well, install it and then throw it on the shelf and then play it one day because it'll be there. These games don't take up that much space, especially if you got like a 500 gig hard drive PS3.
Well, when that day does come and that bullshit does happen, we can always count on the game preservationists. For people preserving games for austerity, and they're pirates, and yeah, they're gonna help us out when that time comes.
Well, those people that are frowned upon will be like praised upon in the years come when games aren't working anymore.
No, I used to publicly shit on piracy, but now I see its I see its merits, and I understand, I get it, and but still, there's something about that piece of plastic on your shelf. You know what I mean? That shiny disc, and that shiny disc that all of us chase like a mule with a carrot on a stick in front of it. It is what it is.
Moving on to slipcovers, Kleen. Tell us about the slipcovers that you've been going for.
Yeah, sure. So, if you don't know, HMV is a store in the UK. The closest thing, if you're American, I could relate to is FYE. They have like music, games, mainly. And HMV got some exclusive slipcovers during like PS3 360 era, and I think they even have like some PS2 exclusives. But yeah, I decided to I was researching it and kind of looking up how many there are, which ones are HMV slipcovers, trying to figure that out. And once I realized how many there were, it seemed pretty manageable to try to get them all. There's 11 total that I know of.
I actually think there's 12.
Is there?
Yeah, I was speaking to someone about it last night, and he showed me another one. But I'll send you a photo of it.
Yeah, I'm curious. Okay, so I'm missing 2 then. The one I know about that I'm missing is Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, which I've been watching for a while. It's pretty hard to find, but I'll get it eventually. That one's weird because it doesn't actually say like PS3 on it. It just says like Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, the game. Kind of looks like if it didn't say the game, you would almost think it's a DVD slipcover. But
yeah, it looks like There's a prototype slipcover from one of the collector's editions. Because it's from a collector's edition,
Oh, is it?
Doesn't have any ratings on it, but it's still like a slipcover. But it looks like this.
Yeah.
So if you've seen it, you wouldn't grab it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the one I don't have, but I can show the ones I do have. I should say all my stuff from UK that I've gotten recently, I have to thank David Paul UK from the Discord. He's helped me out tremendously getting this stuff. I definitely wouldn't have been able to get it without him, so huge thanks to him. Start Dark Void. Pretty good looking one. This one's a little scuffed up, but
what I like about these slipcovers is like these are just like $10 games.
Yeah.
So some people get the slipcover and look the price up on eBay and see it's a $10 game, so list the slipcover for $10.
Exactly. That's why it was appealing to me, is because none of these are especially expensive. Like most of these I paid like £10 for. There's one or two I had to pay more for, but this one's got
it's got a gun belt.
Yeah, it's got like a magnetic belt there.
Oh, nice.
This one is one of the more hard to find. Definitely took me months to find this one. There's another Call of Juarez, the Cartel slipcover and PAL. That's like way more common. So every time you search for this, you just get pages of that one.
You can find that one without the belt commonly too. It's hard to find it complete.
This one's one of the more common ones, Metal Gear.
So nice. Have you got the black one as well?
No, not yet. It was actually, I was trying to just figure out which one of these is HMV and which one's not. It's like kind of hard to tell sometimes. This one too. This one's pretty common. This one was pretty hard to find. Street Fighter 4.
Oh, that's nice.
Took me a while to find that one. But again, like I would consider this pretty rare, but when it does pop up, it's £10 or less. So that's why I like collecting stuff like this, because they're rare. They're undervalued, in my opinion, you know.
Unfortunately, rarity doesn't always equal value in this hobby.
Or fortunately for me, right?
Yeah, well,
yeah, exactly.
Super Street Fighter. This one's really common.
I like that.
So nice. I love the background design on that. It's like they're fighting in the middle of the desert and there's like a sandstorm or something.
Yeah, the Street Fighter ones are awesome. And then this one, arguably the rarest that I have, Ultra Street Fighter.
That's so cool.
This is the only one I can really think of that I had to actually pay up for. I think I paid £40 for this one. It's also got a signature Chun-Li, Japanese voice actor. So that one's... Is
that her? Is that her? Is that an actual signature, or is that just?
It's the Japanese Chun-Li voice actor signature.
So it's not something that comes on all of them. It's just
no.
I gotcha. When you are buying these slipcovers, are you just buying the slipcovers, or are you buying the whole game usually?
They come with the game 90% of the time.
To add to that point, why you would have paid more for that one is because the game by itself goes for £30-40.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so it makes sense that the slipcover is going to be around the same price.
Well, Figsy has a popular meme. Everyone loves Slippy, and because of that meme, I became anti-slipcover. Just to be contrary.
I got bit by the slipcover bug because of Figsy. Like watching his slipcover video back a couple of years ago. It kind of got me addicted to it. So yeah, I owe that to Figsy.
Yeah,
I just started going crazy for him. Like probably 2015. I'd like, you're collecting a full set, and I'm like, well, some of these games are different. Like you got the Steelbooks, you got slipcovers, you got the normal games. It's like, which one do you collect? And I decided to collect them all.
Yeah, exactly. This one was also pretty hard to find. Took me a while. I think that one's pretty cool.
Lost Planet too.
Fun fact, this is actually the exact same cover art as the Japanese version. So they just took the Japanese art and used it for the slipcover.
Is that a sleeve or is that a slipcover?
I mean, I kind of consider them the same thing, but I don't know. Which one would you call it?
Well, to me, that's a sleeve. I don't know. I mean,
To me, it's a slipcover. If it's G2 size and it's one single game,
Yeah.
it's a slipcover. I was chatting to Tristan last night, and we're trying to talk about what do you call like the double case slipcovers, and he called it a slip box.
Yeah,
we need to come together on this vernacular as a community and make and define the term.
Well, the Steelbook community have done that. Like, if Steelbooks have all got their own names, if a Steelbook has, if it's doesn't have the spine, it's a metal pack, and then if it's a sticker on the front, it's a sticker book, and you got the G1 size, you got your G2 size. So maybe slipcovers need a name if it goes up and down or left and right.
Yeah.
To me, this is if it comes off the top and bottom, that's a slipcover. But if it goes inside, that's a sleeve.
I never made that differentiation.
I got another one for you. What do you call this?
What is it?
Is it a slipcover?
It's a sleeve.
Yeah, but is it okay? Is it just a sleeve? Like, it's complete?
What are you talking about?
Because it doesn't have the game in it. You mean?
It's a
cardboard box. So, like, what do you call the actual box?
It's called an extra fancy sleeve. That's what we're gonna call it. I'm writing this down. So
that one goes in the extra fancy color.
What else we got?
Last two, Dead to Rights. This one's got a nice shiny silver background on it.
See? That's what we call in the business extra fancy.
Yeah,
that's one of those games that it's a shovelware title that you wouldn't really care about, but the slipcover's
hello,
super
Mr.
cool.
Fancy Pants.
And then the last one, I think Figsy, you're still looking for this one, right?
Yeah, I'm jealous because I don't have it.
I came across it randomly on eBay from like a Greek seller or something. But yeah, this one's pretty hard to find these days.
Nice.
The only slipcover I've ever chased was the Afro Samurai, and that's just because just gotta have it. Ended up paying. I think I paid $10 for it just for the slipcover itself.
While I'm on slipcovers, I can show a few more. I know Figsy mentioned this on a recent episode. It's the UFC Undisputed slipcover. I thought it was just a Canadian exclusive till Figsy showed me his American one. But interesting about this one, as Figsy mentioned on another episode, is that you can see it comes with Blu-ray disc.
Oh, it's got the extra sleeve in it?
Yeah, it's got this little extra compartment in there. Mine doesn't have the disc in it, but yeah, they like stuck the disc in that little compartment, which is pretty unique.
As far as I'm aware, it's the only one that's...
Yeah, I don't know of any other ones.
But it's so smart because there's room in there for it. Like, it's really cool.
Yeah. A few more. I really like lenticulars, so
that's nice.
This one's a pretty cool lenticular. This one, I was talking to Figsy about this recently about rare NTSC slipcovers. It's interesting to me how there's rare PAL slipcovers and Australian slipcovers, but there's really not a lot of rare NTSC slipcovers. Most of them were just printed to hell, and they're just really common. But this is one I would consider a pretty rare NTSC slipcover, which is the Far Cry 2 one.
Was that a Canadian exclusive?
I don't believe so, no. I don't think so. But yeah, for some reason, it's pretty hard to find these days. These next two are from Figsy from Australia. This one I was after for a while. I saw it in Figsy's slipcover video, and I really love this one. Took me a while to track it down on Australian eBay, but sounds pretty nice.
So there's actually two of them.
Is there?
Don't tell me.
What is
that one there? You're gonna like this. So there's that one there, and then we had another retailer that released it with the same slipcover, but it's got a lenticular cover printed on the front.
Oh man, really?
Yeah,
I gotta find that.
Add it to your list.
Yeah, exactly. Other one Figsy sent me is this beautiful DMC nice. Slipcover.
Is that raised up? It looks.
I don't think so, but Or actually, yeah, looks like Dante is kind of like raised up slightly. Creates a cool effect on it. But yeah, that's one of my favorites. Just a few more slipcovers. This is an example of a deal I found on eBay. This popped up randomly for like $10-15. This came in a collector's edition and for PAL, but it popped up by itself for pretty cheap. It's another lenticular.
To add to that, it got a standard release in Australia, so it's common in Australia because of that for some reason.
Okay.
Which sort of like deflated the price in Europe.
Yeah. One more Australian one Figsy sent me.
This one's cool.
Another lenticular Space Marine. Pretty badass. This one's interesting because the lenticular is separate. It's like this little, thin sleeve, but they just stuck it in the front.
That's really prevalent in a lot of PS4 games. I didn't get it in the PS3.
Gentlemen, sorry, one more.
No, go ahead.
No, let me see it. Okay.
Another example of that lenticular.
Oh man,
is
What
this
is that?
DMC?
The Devil May Cry again?
I actually found out about this from the episode you guys had with Kevin, and he was showing this. I was like, I gotta have that, and I found it. It's just another like thin sleeve in front of the game, but pretty cool lenticular.
I think Figsy takes pride in adding bullshit to people's lists that they gotta go out.
Yeah, but it's fun to like Evan said, if you have patience, you can find all these cheap.
Yeah.
You just have to then find a seller who doesn't really know what they've got.
All right, gentlemen, on that note, I'll be right back.
Sure.
When Will gets back, we'll start the quiz, guys.
I've got two more slipcovers. These ones are Japanese. I'm trying to find more Japanese slipcovers. It's kind of hard to find info about them, but when they pop up, I always grab them. This one is Tales of Grace's F. It's like the 15th anniversary of Tales, I guess.
So nice, man.
Yeah, pretty beautiful one. And then this one I actually just got in the mail this week. It's a Tekken Hybrid slipcover.
Ooh. Well, I didn't even know that was a thing.
And actually, this comes with like a plastic overlay where it says like, the information about the game and like info in the back. And it came with a plastic overlay over it, but I don't have that. I like how it looks just without that, honestly. Pretty sick. It says Tekken Hybrid on the side.
Nice. How much did that say back, if you don't mind me asking?
Cheap, like $20, I want to say.
So that's good because Tekken Hybrid's quite an expensive game.
Yeah.
Over here, and it is the same in America, but in Japan, it must just still be cheap.
Yeah, I had not seen that one until this week. I was happy to find that one. But yeah, that's all my slipcovers.
Insane, man. Absolutely love it. Love the dedication.
Thank you. I guess while I'm waiting for Will to get back, I could show. I just have a few Steelbooks. Tales of Symphonia Chronicles Steelbook. This one came with the collector's edition. Pretty beautiful one.
Did you get the collector's edition as well?
Yeah, that's one of the few big box collector's editions I have is this one.
That was always on my list for years, and then I just decided to just buy the Steelbook, and I don't regret it now because I'd have too many collector's editions.
Yeah, I try to stay away. I try to stay away from anything bigger than G2 where I can. I don't have a lot of like collector's editions or big box stuff. Also, that came with this reversible cover.
Oh, that's cool. With the red spine? What?
Yeah, pretty sick.
Oh, that's so cool. I've never seen that. That is really cool.
A few more Steelbooks. These are Tales of Exilia 1 and 2. Or I guess these are metal packs, technically. Tales of Exilia 1 and 2. These are PAL releases. Pretty cool.
I think there's 2 more of them. I'm sure there's 4. They look really cool together. Like you've got the Tales of Exilia 2 that
I know what you're talking about.
I mean there's like 4 metal packs that look like that.
Oh, really?
There's a yellow one and there might be a green or blue one as well. I'll send you a photo of them.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. This one I just recently got. I'll talk about it later. I should have mentioned earlier. In the past like 6 months, I've gotten into searching like Asian sites for stuff, specifically Shopee. If you don't know, Shopee's like a online marketplace in Southeast Asia, and I think they also have a section for Brazil too. But you can find, if you're looking for Brazilian or Southeast Asian stuff, even Japanese stuff gets posted on there. You can find some crazy deals on there. The only caveat is you can't order from it unless you're from that country. Like when you first go to the site, you have to click like Malaysia, Thailand, or like a specific country, and then only those people from that country can order from there. So you have to use a proxy service. So that adds some price, but even then you can save a ton of money. So this is off there. I don't actually know too much about it. This is a region 3 like Asian. This isn't Japanese. I think it's Asian. It's the Extreme Verse Full Boost game. It's a really common Japanese game, but I'm not sure if this released in Japan too. I don't think it did. I think it's just a region 3 one, but I got it for like $5-10 on Shopee. And then,
I'm pretty sure it's exclusive to Asia.
I think so.
From memory of reading those lists of full Steelbooks, it was on there.
And then this is my rarest Steelbook I have, which is the Final Fantasy 14 one.
So nice, man.
A Realm Reborn. This one is a tiny bit dinged up. You can see like down here, but I got it for a pretty good deal because of that, and I'm happy with it. So like up here too, you can see a little ding, but the artwork is all intact.
I missed it. Where is that from? Is it US?
This one is, I think, is it French, Figsy?
Yeah, so that was a French pre-order exclusive through one store in France for Final Fantasy 14, which would have been back in like 2014, maybe 2015. But it didn't have a very big print run, so it was expensive when I bought it back in 2017, and it was hard to find back then.
Yeah, it barely ever gets listed on eBay.
Beautiful steelbook, but I originally just went for artwork, and that was one of the coolest artworks.
Yeah.
So it was a must-have steelbook. Hey guys, Will's returned. Looks like it's time to play Figsy's Quiz. And thank you, Will, for updating music that won't be get a copyright strike this week.
Hey, well, in my defense, the site I found the music for in the original one, it's
more, and the channel is gone.
It's time for America's favorite game show, Figsy Quiz, where we put the minds of the world's greatest video game collectors to the test. And now, the host of our show, Figsy!
Oh, it's clear. I love it.
Yeah, it's funky. It kind of I get Marvel vs. Capcom 2 vibes when I hear that.
I was getting like 90s porn vibes, but
This is a video game podcast, dude.
On that note, guys, Kleen, you've seen the show before. Would you like to go first or second today?
I'll go first.
All right, guys. As you know, we have 8 questions. Pavel has once again done all the questions for the show. Each question is going to be worth 1 point. Kleen, if you get your first question wrong, it will go over to Will for the steal, and Will have the chance to steal a point back. Pride is on the line. I believe the guests have a commanding lead of 12 now, 12-9.
Oh, it was a 3-way tie last time.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So it's 11-9.
Will's going to take this one, don't worry. Just 50 episodes of experience.
Figsy, you should be rooting for me. I'm the fucking home team here. God damn.
No, I'm always going for the guests. I'm talking to Pavel about how to make it harder for you. Anyway, on that note, let's get into the quiz, guys. Question number 1. All right, this is a Japanese exclusive premium set for a PS3 game that includes the US agency watch. What's the game? Kleen?
U.S. agency.
I'm just gonna guess.
We'll take the Japanese or the North American name of the title.
Man,
Like that's gonna make it easier.
I'm just gonna say Metal Gear Solid 4. I have no idea.
Not Metal Gear Solid 4. That was a good guess, though. And well,
I'm gonna go with SOCOM. Is it a SOCOM game?
Oh, that's a good guess.
wasn't SOCOM. We were looking for Biohazard Revelations, otherwise Resident Evil Revelations.
That's a hard
Pretty
one.
cool collector's edition, that one.
Never even seen that thing. Huh.
All right, question 2. Well, this one's for you. Vigilante Edition is one of the several limited and collector's editions for which PS3 game?
Is it a Batman Arkham game?
Not Batman Arkham. Kleen?
Man, you're giving me a PS3 one, and I don't know. What's that game called? I'll go for. This is wrong. I'm gonna go for like Mercenaries 2.
It wasn't Mercenaries 2, so we were looking for Watch Dogs.
Interesting.
That's the end of round 1. Both contestants yet to score. Still anyone's game. Question number 3. Clay, this one's for you. How many physical vanilla games with Little Big Planet in the title are on PS3?
Well, I know there's 1, 2, and 3, and then Game of the Year edition of each. So 6? That doesn't count like greatest hits, right? Vanilla really. Yeah, 6, I'm going to say.
Incorrect. Well,
Little Big Planet karting.
I'm going to say 4.
4 is correct.
No,
Yeah,
right.
So we're looking
yeah.
for Little Big Planet 1, 2, 3, and Little Big Planet karting. I think you overfought that one. Clay.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking. The 1, 2, 3, because I played all those games with the kids when.
I'm just
All right,
thinking of
question
my
number
show.
4. Will, this
Batman.
one's for you.
All right, man. What we got?
What year was the PlayStation 3 Slim officially released for the first time?
I'm terrible with years, dude. I can't even remember what happened last year. 2008.
Wasn't 2008. Kleen?
Could you repeat that?
What year was the PlayStation 3 Slim released for the first time?
Is it 9? 2009?
It was 2009, correct.
Nice.
The end of round 2, the scores are Will's out on 1 and Kleen is locked on 1 point as well. It's anyone's game. All right, question number 5. Kleen, what is this accessory for?
God damn it.
PS2 memory card adapter for.
You gave them all the easy shit.
That is a PS2 memory card adapter for the PS3, correct. Well, question number 6. What accessory for the PS3 are they trying to fix in this photo?
That's a controller. It's a DualShock 3. 2.
Incorrect.
What? This.
Kleen, what accessory for the PS3 are they trying to fix in this photo?
It's not controller related. I was going to say joysticks of a controller. The hell is that? I'm going to pass. I have no idea.
So that was the PlayStation 3 iSwitch.
Okay.
Tricky after like the longer you look at it, the more you realize it's not a controller. But
Yeah.
I first looked at it and thought it was a controller as well.
Yeah.
So at the end of round number 3, Kleen is out to the lead of 2 and Will is behind on 1. Still anyone's game, guys. Question number 7. A video game for the PS3 based on a movie starring Sylvester Stallone is
It's a crappy game.
this one's for Kleen.
Rambo.
That's correct. It was Rambo. And Will, again, this is a PS3 game based on a book and movie starring Matt Damon.
The what the hell? Jason Bourne. What the hell? The conspiracy? The Bourne?
Yeah, you got it. The Bourne Conspiracy. You started to say conspiracy and then it didn't slip out.
I was like Bourne Identity. I wasn't thinking of the movies, but no.
Ding, ding, ding. He's both got that right. So at the end of Figsy's quiz, Kleen takes the win on his first appearance. Congratulations.
I got the easy ones. I'm gonna admit it.
Well, the quiz was randomly done, and you chose to go first. So that's how it rolled this time, guys.
I'll take it.
Thanks for playing, everyone.
Yeah, Clean. I hold a grudge.
I don't blame you.
Shit. Well, very well. It's refreshing to see a video game collector as single-minded as yourself. I mean, because usually we get people on, they're all over the place, Nintendo and Sega, this, that, and the other. But cheers. I mean, shit. I thought I was narrow-minded because all I do is chase not even chase PS3 anymore. It's just PS4. But so is it strictly 100% PS3? No other consoles?
Yep. I have my family has a Switch. I have a few games for that, but yeah, I mean, just all PS3 basically.
I can respect it because, like, once you start focusing on one console, you start diving into like crazy subsets. Like most people probably never heard of the HMV slipcover subset, but that's super cool to have them all and different things like that.
What's the other one that you said you had, Figs, that he doesn't? Or the number 12?
I don't have it. It's there's a Bourne Conspiracy slipcover as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there's a couple of like I'll pull one out. I kind of thought I already owned it, but Tristan confirmed last night to me that I don't. So the UK had this release. It's a classified edition. It's not a steelbook. It's not a metal pack. It's like a weird metal box that's like bigger than a normal case.
Mm-hmm.
But this isn't the HMV edition. There's a slipcover as well.
Okay.
So is that the official term, weird metal box?
Yeah, that goes in the weird metal box category. There's only 2 weird metal boxes that I know of, but this one also goes in that category. It's a weird metal box.
There's what is it? Odin Sphere for PS4. I think it came in the storybook edition. There's a metal sleeve, with the back on it. It's not a steel book. It's not a metal pack. Is it a slipcover? Is it a sleeve? And I don't think I've ever seen another one like it.
I'm thinking of the Dragon's Crown, the embroidered one. Sorry.
No, it's literally a sleeve. It's got it's got a spine on, not a spine. Well, yeah, I guess it's got a spine, but it's just a sleeve. It just slides right in. I picked one up in a purchase, and I guess it came from the storybook edition. I didn't get the rest of it. I just had the game and the sleeve. I wish I had it back.
I just need to see what my dog's barking at. I'll be right back.
Sure.
It's a crocodile. It's always a crocodile.
I got some other stuff to show.
What we got?
Let me think here. Show a few Japanese things. This is one of the first imported things I ever bought. It was at a local import shop that I don't think exists anymore.
Is that a box?
Yeah, so it's like what Figsy was saying, like a double slipcover almost. It's like a thicker cardboard though. I don't know what you would call it, but this one's interesting because it comes with a Dreamcast case as like a bonus.
That's so cool.
And it's not actually a Dreamcast. I was just talking to David Paul about this yesterday. It's not actually a Dreamcast game. I was talking to him and he threw this back in Google Translate. And it's actually a sound. There's 2 discs. One is a soundtrack, and the other one it translated to strategy DVD. It's basically like strategies for how to play the game.
So it'd be like the Ketsui limited edition.
Yeah,
where they,
yeah.
have high scores and stuff in the disc. Makes
Yeah.
sense for a tough
But
game like that.
I am confused why, if it's just a DVD and a soundtrack, why they decided to put it in a Dreamcast case. I'm still not clear on that, but it's pretty cool.
I know this wasn't the first release of Under Defeat HD, so maybe it was first done on the Dreamcast, and that's sort of the reason why, or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's gameplay footage from the Dreamcast version.
True.
Pigsy, you just recently uploaded PS3 movie / game combo pack, whatever. Were they all strictly movies you're including in that video, or did you include like shit like that?
I started to go off tangent, but like researching it, you realize it's a rabbit hole that is huge. So I sort of just left it an open-ended question for people in chat. But it includes like all the movies.
Yeah.
At least I've missed some already. You know what it's like.
Next thing I'd like to show is some Region 3 stuff, some Asian stuff. So first, one thing I've gotten into is I call them emblemless Region 3 games where they don't have a rating emblem in the corner. So just for context, Region 3 Asian stuff has quite a few different rating emblems. This is one, the little red circle. This is one, black square, yellow square.
That's Korean, isn't it?
Play Asia put stickers over their ones.
That's not the Korean
It's
one.
like their own.
No,
this-
you're
this
right.
These are all region 3, but
Yeah.
these are all different countries, and that's the reason why.
Also that one with the little controller.
It says for Southeast Asia only on there.
Yeah, and then there's also some that don't say that and still have the controller. But that all is to say, there's also Region 3 games that don't have an emblem. So I have a couple of them. I just really like how clean they look without the emblem.
That does look great.
It almost looks like a custom fake, you know?
Can you show us the spine? Of that
Yeah.
one?
Let me see the backside as well.
When people say, "What's the best region rating logo?" It's that one.
Yeah, exactly. This one's interesting because it's the Killer's Dead Premium Edition, and I found multiple. This is the reversible cover. I found multiple copies. Most of the copies I found, the reversible cover still had an emblem on it, but I found one or two where the reversible cover is blank, which I really like.
I think the reason behind that is that was sold through Play Asia, so they've stickered their own copies to make them be eligible to be sold through their store.
Okay.
So if you get it, you'd actually be able to peel that off, and it would come off that sticker.
Makes sense. A couple more. Tales of Symphonia.
Yeah, just blank is lovely.
That Ridge Race is interesting because that would have been released the same. I'm sure that Asia got the PS3 released the same time as Japan. I could be incorrect on that, but like Ridge Racer in Japan, for example, was the first PS3 game because it came out a week before North America, and it's 0001. So it's like a nice little piece of history.
Oh yeah, true. Then last one is.
That cover art is so cool.
Yeah, it's a different cover than the NTSC or PAL. I'm not sure if this is the Japanese cover. I think it is.
I think it's different again.
Is it?
It might be.
But yeah, I got this one. Another guy I trade with a ton where a lot of this stuff came from his Roxas in the Discord. He's hooked me up like crazy. So I owe a lot to him.
So all these are English soundtracks as well?
Yeah, these all play in English, I believe. A few more Region 3 things. I do want to tell a quick story of the trade I did with Roxas. He had a bunch of Region 3 games I wanted, some expensive ones. And so we started setting up a trade. And partway through the trade, I was like, screw this. And I sent him a picture of each of my shelves. And I said, just mark the games you want. Because I was trading NTSC games for his Region 3 games. So he went through my whole shelves and just marked every NTSC game he wanted. And I just pulled a bunch out. I ended up trading him like 30 of my NTSC games for some of these, including this one, Echochrome.
Ooh. That's like a $300 game that
Yeah.
I've sold on eBay before.
This one I got a while back, but this is the Region 3 version of Siren New. What is it?
Nice.
New
Blood
translation.
Yeah, Silent Blood Curse, which is
Blood Curse is the PAL version.
I recently sold. I found one of those locally for $25. I recently sold it. Well, not
Nice.
recently, about a year ago.
This is
it's
another
a sequel of a PS2 game. It's not coming to me. I'll think of it soon.
This is another Asian English game. Sword Art Online. Only way to play it in English is the Region 3 version. This one is Figsy put me onto this recently. I wasn't sure, as well as a bunch of other people, whether this is the only English version or whether the Japanese version also plays in English, but Figsy
Thanks
told
to
me.
AJ and Sean, they've confirmed that that's the only version that plays in English.
Yeah, so I picked that one up.
There's like data online that's like from dating back to 2013 that's like full lists of English games in Japan, and that's always on the list.
Yeah, there's conflicting information on it. This one I just recently got, Black Label Drakengard. This is another example I was saying earlier. I like to find deals on Shopee. This one I got really cheap on Shopee, and they actually shipped it to Roxas, and they sent him a blue label one, even though listed was a black label one. But he actually knew the seller, so he contacted him. He's like, "Hey, do you have a black label one?" And he returned it and sent this one. So,
what is Shopee?
Shopee is a Southeast Asian online marketplace, kind of like eBay, but for specific Southeast Asian countries. And you can only order from there if you're from that country. So you have to use a proxy service to get stuff out of there. But I've been finding crazy deals on there.
Then on the Drakengard 3, can you just hold it up for a second?
Yeah, sure.
So that rating is the Play Asia sticker that they use. So you'd actually be able to peel that off, and you might even have a rating behind it.
I didn't know that.
It would be on the artwork itself, but you can carefully peel those stickers off. I've never had a problem peeling them off before.
Cool.
Next question.
Yeah, like you said, I actually bought a second copy of Lost in the Rain because I thought it was a variant. Fucking sticker.
That's funny.
I sold it, but you buy like a $500 game twice for a sticker.
That's something I would do.
You gonna peel it off, Kleen?
I might try. I'm a little scared, but
you'd be the only person to have like the cleanest rating copy.
The Kleen.
But I'm pretty sure they were the only people to sell them, so all copies have that rating sticker.
Yeah. A few more Region 3 games. Moorstorm Complete.
Nice.
This is another part of that trade I was talking about. Got Region 3 Killzone and PAL Killzone.
So the interesting thing between those two is the Region 3 one was actually a retail release.
Yeah,
not one's not to be sold separately.
Yeah. And then this is, I would probably say, my rarest game that I own, like standard game, which is 3D Collection.
Ooh.
I'm super stoked to have this. I never thought I would have any of the 3D collections, but I got this for a pretty good deal. The seller was telling me in messages like it's not in great condition and all this, but it was just a plastic case. Like I swapped the case and there's really nothing wrong with it. So
have you played Pain?
I've seen gameplay, but I've never played it.
Oh, it's fun. I always any chance I get to sing its praises, I do. I highly recommend it.
I was just scrolling through chat, guys, and I just seen a comment by Andy, and he mentions that when you pirate a PS3 game, you still have to wait for it to install. I thought that was quite interesting as well.
Well, I mean, yeah, but the patches, there's no patches. Maybe I don't know. I don't know enough about piracy to comment on it, but it should all be patched up when you pirate it.
Oh,
so this game was called Biohazard in Japan, and Region 3 got this cover. It's actually a reversible cover. You can see the Biohazard cover on the inside, but Region 3 got a reversible cover that says Resident Evil instead. This one's pretty valuable.
interesting enough, the So that copy says it plays in English, and the Japanese one doesn't, but it still does play in English.
Yeah.
Well, the menus aren't in English, but the soundtrack isn't still in English. It's unfortunate though.
Another one I traded Roxas for. This one's pretty expensive.
Very nice.
Everybody's Golf 6. Yeah,
Again, that's just got the sticker on the front.
Yeah, Plasia. I almost have a complete Asian English set. I'm missing Aquanauts, Rain, River City Super Sports, and the Pixel Junk pack. Those are the 4 I'm missing.
2 of the big hitters.
Yeah,
Aquanaut,
it's just so expensive. This one is, what's it called? Toro Let's Party.
So that's an interesting one. Have you tried to play that one?
No, I heard it's buggy though, right? Like it doesn't work half the time.
Yeah, so like there was a point where everyone was buying this game and they're like, it doesn't work. And then someone tried to like just keep restarting their console and restarting it. And after like the 10th time, it just booted up. And like other people tried it, and that's how to get it to work. So the game still works, but it doesn't work very well. So like they must have not put the right data on the disc or something from when they manufactured it, and I don't know, maybe a new update like didn't read it properly, but you can still play it, which is good.
Then the last 2, last guy, and this one I'm super happy to have. I went after this game for a while, but it's always just like $150, $200. There's a Japanese version of this that is flooded on eBay, but that one does not have English. So if you're after this, make sure you get the Region 3 one. This is one of the things I found on UK eBay recently. I think I paid $50, which is pretty crazy for this game.
Yeah, that's a great price.
Yeah.
Like even 10 years ago, that was going for ridiculous amounts of money. Just train simulation games didn't really like see releases like they do on the PS4.
Yeah.
Clean.
I played that one. It wasn't the most fun. I was stuck in like the subway system for half an hour.
Yeah, it looks pretty complicated.
Being in the subway, it's just all black.
Clean. What's the most money you dropped on a single title? And what was that title?
Probably this 3D collection. I think so. Yeah, probably this. I spent like 100, which sounds like a lot, but this is really rare. So 100 is. I'm happy to pay that for this.
What's marketing?
I've seen that sell for $200 regular.
Yeah.
There was a point where like none showed up for a long time. So,
but the most expensive game I have is probably Last Guy, or maybe Painkiller.
Well, what's Painkiller?
Painkiller's on the way down.
Is it? Yeah.
Have you guys seen the price of Siberia? It's like dropped $200 in the last.
Thank God, dude! I've been waiting for that. When I heard about the reprint, I was like, I can finally get Siberia Collection. Like, I was thinking, oh, it got reprinted, so it'll be $60, but that didn't happen. You know,
yeah, got reprinted by the wrong people.
I'm still waiting.
Would you be happy with the reprint?
Yeah, I was telling Figsy, I just bought last week. I bought a German version of Siberia Collection that has English, and it was like £20. So,
which I still don't know how you found.
Yeah, I don't know either.
$300 PAL game.
Yeah, the German versions of stuff usually are a little cheaper than the normal PAL versions, but still, that was a really good find. But yeah, that'll be.
It's like the Canadian version compared to the American version. It's only insignificantly cheaper.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all my Region 3 stuff.
No, very few Japanese games I've brought in. It's got to be in English. I mean, it's all about the language variant, and I mean that's the only. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the only thing that drives these the prices of these Asian games is because they're available in English. Yeah. Of course, it's real simple. Just go get them out of Japan, but gotta have it in English.
Oh, another example of a crazy find I found on Shopee is this. This is the Region 3 version, But the Japanese version, this is called Wizardry Perfect Pack. The Japanese version of this game is, I've never seen it cheaper than like $150. It's like one of the more expensive Japanese games I've seen.
Is it an MMO?
It's Wizardry is an old dungeon crawler series going back to like the 90s, like a first person dungeon crawler, and it has a cult following. But I think this is just a bunch of, I actually don't know the details, but I think this is just a bunch of Wizardry games all in one pack.
That's cool.
But this is the Region 3 version, and I found this for like $10 on Shopee. So another example of what you can find on there.
And the cool thing about like getting into collecting from Japan is you find when you order games from Japan, they're in like brand new condition. You don't just get a game. You get heavy games because the games have thick manuals. They have all this extra stuff. Like that pile that you've got looks heavy, and it's just 20 games.
Yeah, it's these games you just sent me, man. So story of these is I was just looking through Australian eBay one day, and I came across this seller that had posted a bunch of what I would consider pretty rare Japanese games, and they were all on auction for pretty cheap. Like the starting bid was between like 20 to 30, a few 40 Australian dollars, which is pretty cheap for a lot of these games. And they all had 0 bids. So one of my strategies is if I see something with 0 bids, I'll message the seller and be like, would you just sell this to me? Like, and so I asked him, like, if I wanted to buy a bunch of the games you have up for auction, would you just sell them to me for the current price? So I got all of these for the starting bid price.
That's awesome.
Shit.
And
If you don't ask, you never get, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's actually how I got the 3D collection too. It was on auction, and I messaged the guy. I was like, would you just give it to me for this price? But yeah, I had these shipped to Figsy, and he sent them over. Like he was saying, when you get Japanese games, they're typically like perfect condition. So these are all part of a series. It's called like Daisen Ryaku. It's like a war strategy game. And these are pretty pricey on eBay, at least, like upwards of $80. Also, this one, pretty cool cover.
That's awesome.
But yeah, he sent me over a bunch of Japanese games. These are like, this is like an older horse racing MMO, and I was reading about it. Apparently, it got canceled like a month after it released. So I had never seen this one before.
This is funny, but canceled MMO games are way more expensive than MMO games that aren't canceled.
Yeah, because they stopped selling.
They throw them out. Like
Yeah.
Metal Gear Online used to be a $5 game, and now it's $150 because they don't sell them anymore because the servers are down.
Yeah. This is another MMO. I just really like the cover of this one. I think
That's
this
so
MMO is
cool.
actually still running, I believe. I don't know if the PS3 servers are still there, but I think you can still play it on PC. Yeah, and some of these are sealed too. So like 20 Australian dollars for a sealed Japanese game. So like, I was really happy with that. One other Japanese thing I could show is, so there's these Japanese greatest hits is called The Best, and there's specific sets for specific developers, and there's tons of them. Like almost any developer you can think of got their own unique set of The Best. So, for example, Ubi The Best, and they all have different designs. Some of them this one's one of the less cool designs, but there's like, I don't know, 10, 15 Ubi The Bests. There's another one.
Basically, greatest hits.
Yeah, they're greatest hits, but for specific developers.
It's cool until you start to look into it and you realize there's like 100 of them.
I finished one set and then I kind of gave up. It's too importing all these is just ridiculous. But this is the complete set I have. It's the Codemasters one. Dirt 2. So you can see it on there. Codemasters The Best. Operation Flashpoint. This is probably the rarest of them. Race Driver Grid 2.
Do the spines have anything to represent the company as well?
Says
that's cool. So
Codemasters The Best right there.
You can store them on the spine together by company. That's so cool.
Yeah, and the Ubi best ones have it on the top.
As long as they're consistent.
Yeah, and then these two. And there's actually one Codemaster's
Oh,
the best.
1 minute. Can I see the spine of that fuel? Did they get it right?
Backwards. They got it right.
It's right, yeah.
Jesus.
They're not dyslexic over there.
I saw that as the first thing that popped in my mind. Is that thing backwards on the spine?
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing.
And then this one, you only know it's Codemaster's the best if it's sealed because it has a sticker.
Interesting.
This is the only one I found that doesn't have that same design, but it is part of the set, I guess.
Which means there's more out there.
Yeah, probably.
You need to like look up all the Codemaster games and find them sealed and see if they've got the stickers on the front.
Yeah. Just a few. I try to stay away from big box stuff, but I really like this one. It's a Japanese limited edition for Atelier Shelley.
Looks like she's farting on the other girl. Right.
And this one I picked up for pretty cheap. Double pack of the 2 Chaos Head games. I like the design at the top. It's got this like gradient. Pretty cool.
It looks like a PS5 game.
Yeah.
It's nice that the text is in English, so that's cool. I think some points were brought up before about Japanese games. You'd be surprised like how many Japanese games there are out there that are exclusive and they don't play in English, but you can still play them. I made a video series a few years ago on games that are playable without. There's
and
a few city building games. You've got like shoot 'em up games. There's a lot of genres that are just a few buttons, and you don't need text to play them.
Fighting games.
And I buy games that play in Japanese too, because I have this sort of crazy idea in my head that in the near future there will be either TVs or some sort of device you can attach to your TV that can use AI to translate the language on the screen in real time. I genuinely don't know why that wouldn't be possible.
That would change collecting.
Exactly. So then that unlocks
you need to get a patent on that ASAP and lock it down and go on.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
sure
I'm not
show where they go on Fish Tank, whatever it is.
Shark Tank.
Shark Tank, that's it.
Fish Tank.
Yeah, I would be a little fish.
That's the show you go on to get addition to go on the big show.
But yeah, that would be awesome if that happened.
Maybe yeah. I mean, AI is, if they can make it before the robots take over, that'd be cool. Yeah.
I was thinking it could even be like just a little device. You plug your HDMI cord in on either end, and then TV and PS3 like it just like intercepts the HDMI signal. I don't see why it wouldn't be possible.
It'll probably be on PC, but I want one. All right, gentlemen. Figsy, we got homework. Did you do your homework?
Tavia, she ate it. No, I'm joking.
I was like, what the hell are you talking to the dog for? Homework, yes. Here on the PlayStation Collectors Podcast, we like to assign our guests homework, and of course, Figsy and I do it ourselves as well. Tonight's homework was share with us a game that you hated buying, but you had to complete the set, or you just had to have it in the collection. So Figsy, you say you only pulled one game.
Yeah, I could have pulled heaps, but I just pulled one. So.
Yeah, I'd say maybe 30% of your collection. But Figsy, you go first. You got one. Let's get it out of the way.
I thought about this question, and I thought back to the time when I was going for a full PS3 set. And when you go for a full set, you get to a point where you're down the end of the list, and you talk to other collectors doing the same thing. And we all kind of had a few similar games, and it's like the last annual sport games and different things like that. So for me, and I'm sure many other people going for full sets, PES 2018 was really annoying. Wasn't released in Australia. So I think I paid like 50 euros for this one, and then still had to get it shipped over here for a game that's going to sit on the shelf and only be used as part of a full set. Fortunately, this game is worth more than what I paid for it for the reason that it's pretty scarce, and everyone who bought it on PS4 wouldn't have sold well on PS3. I know FIFA 19 kind of is the same, but I got that for €40, so it was a little bit cheaper. But yeah, I hated buying this one.
What's the market on the price on that about now?
I haven't looked it up in years. I'll look it up now while you guys are showing your answers.
All right. I'm gonna get mine out of the way. I got 5 games. 5 games. All right, we're gonna go with this one first. First, Siberia 3. I bought this because it's a Siberia collection. Oh shit, this thing's gonna be worth a mint, and also it's $1. So I bought this piece of shit, and it's a piece of shit. It's sealed. Well, it was sealed. It's got a floppy seal, as you can see here. But most of the games that I'm showing, I didn't need them for anything. Well, except for one, I didn't need them to complete a set or anything. They're just cheap games, and I'm just mad at myself for wasting my money on the game just because it was cheap. Here's another one, 99 cents, Farming Simulator 17. Why? Because it was cheap. Not to complete a set or anything, but I can't say no to a 99-cent game, especially if it's sealed. Because who knows? I'll probably eventually end up opening this one if I need a clean case when I get something dirty in the mail. Another cheap game I bought just because it was cheap. Santa's Christmas Adventure, and hopefully this thing becomes rare and expensive. But I'm not holding my breath. Santa's Christmas Adventure can eat a dick. Now this game I bought because it was a deal. And I got this one recently off of some 10-year-old kid. Car Mechanic Simulator. What? $15. I guess it's like a $40 game. And just because it's a $40 game and I can get it for $15, I went for it. And again, something I didn't want to buy, but when you see that kind of deal, when you see you can't pass up on it. I actually got that one in the wild. Now this game I had to have to complete a set that I was chasing, but I don't have VR, so it's kind of a waste. Yeah, this Gungrave VR, part of the X-Seed set. I'm happy to say, as of today, this set is complete. On the 6th, a new one will be coming out, so we have to go out and get that one. But yeah, Gungrave VR, it's got a little shiny cover. It's pretty, but I'm never going to play it. And I at least like to, for the most part, I like to bring games into my collection that I can or hope to play. But this one, no hope of that. But yeah, those are my picks. What about you, Kleen? What do you got for us?
I got a couple. First, this one's kind of self-explanatory, right? Barbie Puppy Rescue. I don't think.
No, this wasn't our favorite games. This was games that we didn't like.
Right. Yeah, I was after that one for years. And then these ones. So I kind of have to tell a backstory because otherwise it won't make sense. When my brother and I were first collecting PS3, we kind of developed this thing where we developed a resentment for these games, and that's Last of Us and the Uncharted games. And the reason for this is whenever you would go on Reddit or on a YouTube video or anything and you would ask for PS3 recommendations, it was just Last of Us, Uncharted, Last of Us, Uncharted, Last of Us, Uncharted. So we, after a while, we just were like, fuck these games. Like, so, I mean, I've been collecting PS3 for what, 7 years, and I didn't actually own these until like a couple months ago. I just avoided it at all costs. But they were like a couple bucks, so I just had to grab them. But yeah, it's not that these are like bad games or anything, but it's just like it's all you would ever hear about when you talk about PS3.
Don't invite your brother over. He'll be like, "What do you got those games?"
Exactly.
And that is the exact reason I'm anti-Zelda. It's just shut up about it. I'm sick of hearing about it. Great, it's a great game. Whatever, just shut up about it. I feel you, Kleen. I feel you.
Just right on that, Will. I think I just hit 50 hours in Tears of the Kingdom. It's really good. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah. Let's talk about it. Oh, I gotta piss.
You ever played a Zelda game, Kleen?
Yeah, of course. I was thinking about getting the new one. I hate buying retail priced games. Like, it's just like the worst thing for me ever. Every time I spend $60 on a game, I'm like, I could have bought 10 PS3 games for this. Like, what am I doing? So
I get that.
I tend to avoid retail games, but no, I definitely want to play it. It looks awesome.
I like to buy new games and sell them, but this is one that I guess because it's got that Nintendo factor and it will always hold its value. I'll probably just keep it.
Yeah.
If it was going to be a game like Far Cry, for example, I play it and then I'd sell it and get my money back. Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm put 50 hours in like a couple of weeks into a game for a while, so it's exceeded my expectations definitely.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Moving back to the PS3, do you have goals to go for a full North American set in the long run, Clint?
In the long run, yeah, it's not my priority at all. It's just kind of like as I pick up games for cheap locally, I just kind of move towards it. I'd say I'm at like 800 NTSC, I want to guess. So I'm like most of the way there, like a couple hundred left. But a lot of what I have, there's still definitely NTSC games I want that I don't have. Like off the top of my head, I don't have a couple of the Spider-Man games. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch, but a lot of the stuff I still need is just I would consider stuff I don't really want. So yeah, it's not my priority. And whenever I have extra money to spend on PS3 stuff, I'm just looking for cool PAL shit or Region 3 shit. So yeah, it's not my priority, but I think I will get there eventually.
Yeah, that's fair. And it's funny. Like if I could go back, I probably wouldn't go for a full set, and I would have just kept going for weird, cool, unique, because that stuff appeals to me more than having like NBA 07 all the way to NBA 18.
Yeah, exactly. And I've done the thing where for expensive NTSC games, if there's another English version, I'll just get that. Like what I said with Siberia. Or another example is this. I bought this before these games went up, but even before Armored 6 was announced and these games shot up, this was still a really expensive game for NTSC. It was like 60 to 80 bucks, I want to say. But this I got for like 30, 25, and it plays in English. It's no different. So I'll do stuff like that where I just want an English playable copy really of every game. So if I can save money, I do that.
And that's, if you're buying games to play, that's a perfect analogy. Like region 3 systems are great because if a game's expensive in one region, most of the time you can turn around and get it cheap.
Yeah.
I know like these days, like Painkiller's expensive in PAL, but back in the day you used to be able to buy a PAL copy for $20, where the North American copy was $200.
Yeah.
Like that. And it makes sense too. Like, you're not going to be playing these games, and what's the justification?
If the only difference is just the rating emblem in the corner, I really can't bring myself to care. A good example of what you just talked about, where one region the game is expensive. This is one that I haven't seen people talk about, but it's expensive now, and I don't understand why, which is the NTSC version of this National Geographic Challenge. For a long time, this would be considered just like a trashware game. But right now, I checked yesterday, right now on eBay, there's one NTSC copy, and it's $75. And the PAL version of this is common and not expensive. So explain that.
That's funny because when I was going for a full set, I actually found a North American copy.
Yeah, it never used to be anything like desirable. Game.
That's what happens when lots of people start to go for full sets.
Yeah.
That's when you find out that games are rare and uncommon because people start to go, well, I need one, and I need one, and I need one, and I need one, and if there's only a certain amount out there, then suddenly, the market takes them all.
Yeah. Another one I would recommend if you're in America to watch out for. I just picked this one up last week. NASCAR 15 Victory Edition. This, I was looking at prices the other day. It's blowing my mind.
It's always been expensive. Really.
Has it?
Yeah.
Because I never remembered this being super expensive.
Yeah, when I was going for my full set, I think that was the second last North American game I bought, and I paid like $80 for it because I was waiting for years to get a cheap copy, and it just never popped up.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's multiple sold for like in the 60 range. I saw one on UK eBay that sold for like £75 or something. It's like, I got this for $20 at my local disc replay, and they're normally really good about doing eBay prices. Like they price everything based off eBay. So that's why I thought like this went up recently, because they had it priced so low. But yeah, that's interesting.
Is it the last NASCAR game?
Yeah, it's the last NASCAR game on PS3, and it's like the edition
Victory
that has the
Edition,
DLCs or whatever.
Yeah.
So
So they have the most current roster, etc., which is what people would want when they're playing.
is there a dead racer involved or something?
I have
Maybe.
no
No, it would
idea.
just be that factor. Like the last NCAA football game, there'd be more people that want to play the game than there are copies out there, so it inflates the price. Well, you've got some memes for us this week. I think it's time for meme time.
It's meme time. Cue the music, Joe.
Headphone warning.
It still tickles me. All right, Joe, what do we got? Man accused of robbing store with Nintendo Duck Hunt pistol, deputies say.
I don't know,
This is-
nothing.
This is actually a true story. I
I found the real one, and I'm like, what the fuck, man?
I just substituted Pixie in there, so there we go. But yeah, true story. Buying a Nintendo game in 2011 for $50. Yeah, waiting 10 years until it costs $150. Nintendo. We love all consoles here. Shitty trend starter pack. Yeah, I'm taking shots here.
The red
Bitcoin.
cases are a
Fanny-
shitty trend.
Yes, they seem to be trending on Facebook, and yeah, get that shit out of here. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I feel you.
What comes after 3? Vice City. What comes after 5? Nothing. You're hired. Rockstar.
Money, that's what comes after 5.
Oh man. Well, I stole this one. What listening to the PlayStation Collectors podcast looks like. I stole this from the Loot Bros. So yeah, there you go. Because we're trash. Get it? Anyway. Van driver after he captured 1,000 kids and unlocked the golden skin. What better way to attract kids to a van? With Nintendo. Oh.
The hardest unlock.
Skips opening cutscene to play the game faster. Spends almost an hour making the perfect character. That one's care of Laura. She shared that one with me. We have a spare controller, and this is the spare controller. This looks this looks almost like the question, the quiz question earlier.
Yeah.
Did I get them mixed up and put them in the wrong spot?
All right, this is Nintendo's board meeting. We need to find a way to make people stop using emulators for our games. Well, we can get Let's Plays of Nintendo games taken down on YouTube. We can sue Nintendo fans that upload ROMs to the interwebs. Or we can stop making consoles with underpowered hardware so it's harder to emulate. Get the fuck out of here. It's true. We like to take it. Get out of my room. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this.
Yeah, of course. Legendary.
If you've seen the original video, the kid yells at his I think it's his brother to get out of his room, and he's so angry.
Yeah.
But
That was one of the first like viral internet videos.
Yeah, exactly. I saw that when I was like 13.
This is a reseller meme. It's still new. I only opened it to make sure everything was in there. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that. No, dude, it's not new. It's now not new.
That's GameStop new.
No, GameStop. Yeah, GameStop new is an actual term. Best game for 6-year-old or under, besides Pokemon games. Doom. Trust me, it's a very Christian game. He's out of line, but yeah, he's right. Lots of demons. And when the game takes a while to load and you think about your life for a few seconds. This is just rude, but I don't know. I think it's funny.
I'm thinking of have you seen the meme of the guy that's like, I'm badass, looking at his character, and then suddenly the screen goes black and he sees himself and he's got no shirt on and he's not badass.
This is for the old collectors like myself. Recognize this? Well, it might be time for a colonoscopy. Digestive health specialist. Oh man, is that it? Oh, yeah, we've already played that one. Yeah, I think that's it. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that this has been this week's installment of Meme Time. Tune in next week.
Much better music.
Yeah, I aim to offend, but anyway,
My jaw actually hurt, so that one was good. That was fun.
I'm glad you liked it. So, Figsy, what have you been playing lately? What's been in your console? Anything new?
I've only been playing Zelda. I'm loving it.
Oh,
And like incentivizing myself to work hard to play. I guess that's a lie. When my buddy's been around, we've been playing Gran Turismo 7. So I have to correct myself on a statement I made a few weeks ago. So I said that I had PSN. I didn't have PSN Plus, and it took down all my friends' time. So that wasn't actually correct. The reason was there was a new update, and if you don't update it, you don't see all your friends' time. So, like, all my friends that are updating the game, I can now see their times. But we've been playing through that, like getting all the gold trophies and the license skills, and yeah, it's quite fun. I only really play it when he comes around, and yeah, having a blast.
I put 4 hours into Final Fantasy 1 this morning, and I don't know. I get a I get an air of superiority playing these old school games. I don't know. I just feel like I feel like I'm accomplishing something. So, but no, it's fun. It's okay, I guess. It's a lot of go and fetch and come back here and go back there and go over there. But and I also downloaded Rival Schools. I'm ashamed to say I'm a big fighting game fan. But I'm ashamed to say I never played it. But before, it's hard to look at because it's like. It's got like that Virtual Fighter 3D weird look to it. But as far as the fighting's concerned, it's solid as fuck for a PS1 game. So I've been enjoying that. He disappeared. I'm still waiting for my PS5 to come back from Sony.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was shutting down on some. But finally, I mean, according to FedEx tracking, I got there 2 weeks ago. And just
how long
today,
ago did you send that in?
2 weeks ago. Well, about a little over 2 weeks ago. Or has it been 2 weeks? But they've had it for a week and a half. About according to FedEx tracking, and just today they sent me an email. Hey, we just got your PlayStation. We'll let you know what's coming up next. So we'll see. I drew a small penis in Sharpie on the inside of the plate. Just to make just so I know if I get my original console back or if they send me something else. We'll find out. Yeah, because I just got it. I just got it in January. Yeah, so do you no plans on ever upgrading or getting something new clean or?
I've considered two things. If I was gonna start another collection, it would either be PS4 or original Wii. In my opinion, original Wii is one of the most undervalued things right now. A lot of the games for original Wii are nowhere near their peak price, in my opinion, at least. So I used to have a Wii collection. I sold it, but yeah, I really like PS4. I've never collected for it, but I like hearing about PS4 collecting. But no, I don't have any plans to get any modern systems, honestly. Every time I think about it, I just go, I could spend that money on PS3 games. So,
well, not to mention you're a PC gamer.
Yeah, exactly.
Primarily, and
Master Race.
Yes, I'm a Figsy acolyte. Self-referred to that.
No, freaking.
You're right about the Wii though. Like the 360 is the same. Wii and 360 prices right now. If you compare the same game on the PS3 to the same game on the 360 and the Wii, it's significantly cheaper.
Yeah, and there's also the aspect that every Nintendo system before the Wii has gone up. GameCube is crazy. DS is crazy. Even 3DS is pretty crazy now. Wii is the next one, and it's the next Nintendo system in line. And I don't think
the Wii is crazy.
Yeah, but are there that many expensive games for the Wii U? Like,
yeah, there are because of the fact that there's so many full set collectors out there. There's so many of those weird games.
Yeah,
but like that point that I made, the free the PS3 version's more expensive. Well, if you look at the Wii U version, that's usually way more expensive. Like
Interesting.
Tesla Grad, for example, is like $200, and it's like a $30 PS3 game, and
Yeah, so that's even another
$15 PS4 game.
Yeah, I think the Wii will definitely go up eventually.
So much shovelware in that console.
That's true. Yeah.
There's a lot of amazing titles on there. Though. There's probably like 200-300 solid games on the library, and that's huge.
But for every solid title, there's six pieces of crap.
Yeah, if I did do Wii, I would be very selective and just get games I want. Because you're right. There's a ton of shovelware on the Wii.
Would you think about getting games that have PS3 releases, or would you just go for exclusives?
Probably not. Probably stick to more exclusives. I mean, the Wii does have a lot of exclusives, so I would have to choose from.
When you were playing Wii, did you use that block that's sideways, or did you have a Pro controller, or whatever the hell it's called?
Usually, when I was able to, I liked using the remote and the nunchuck. Having the controller sideways kind of sucks, in my opinion.
Testing Wii games, I can't stand the Wii controller because the sensor bar and the Wii controller sucks. You spend half the time trying to find where it is. But the Pro controller is great. You just plug it in USB. It looks pretty much like an Xbox controller. It works awesome.
And I do have to give the Wii props for its GameCube backwards compatibility. Well, the first couple consoles. Well, the first couple iterations of the console. I guess it's
they did a lot of things right. The Wii. I just didn't do things right for the Wii U, unfortunately.
Yeah,
and the game, you can of course plug the GameCube controllers right in them as well. 4 ports. It's pretty cool.
But Nintendo are doing the same for the Switch. Like the Switch is an absolute killer system, and the Switch is going to go down as one of those libraries that it's going to be like 1,000 games that are cool. Not like 200 or 300.
I love the Switch games, but I hate the hardware. I play 90% of the time on my expensive ass PC. So when I go play a Switch, I'm just like, it's just so shit. Like the frame rate.
I do get that, but I think then you got to think about the type of game you're playing. Like if I'm playing my Switch, I'm playing games that are made for the Switch.
Yeah.
So, Zelda's probably the highest performing game I've ever played, but it runs greatly. And then I put 300 hours into Stardew Valley, but on the Switch, it's amazing.
Yeah.
The type of game that, if you're playing it on the console, suddenly you put YouTube on and you pull it out, and now you're playing it like this, watching the YouTube video, and it's an easy game that you don't have to put all your concentration into. And I like it for that aspect.
Yeah, definitely.
But games like, Elden Ring, The Witcher 3, Dark Souls, I want to play it on the console, the computer, etc.
Back in the CRT days, I used to I'd be playing PS2, and then I'd have a function not on many TVs anymore, picture in picture. And of course, I had picture in picture in a little corner. I'd watch the Seinfeld or the hockey game, whatever the hell I was into. But I'd like to. I wish I could do that now. I mean, with a big TV like this, it'd be a lot more. It'd be cool to just watch something on the side while you're playing the video game on the main screen. And of course, you just flip the shit back and forth with the click of a button. But no, picture in picture is a thing of the past.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Picture in picture.
Never heard of it.
Really? Jesus, you're fucking young man. How about you? Clean picture in picture? You know what the fuck I'm talking about?
I know what it is for, you can do it on YouTube and put it in the little corner.
Yeah, basically, it's basically one input is one thing. Like say you're playing the game on the screen, then you got a little box in the corner. Picture another picture.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense when Kleen brought up YouTube. Like watching ourselves down the bottom of the screen on StreamYards here.
Yeah, shit. News, Figsy. We haven't done the news segment in a minute, but there was one little piece of news that we talked about, and you seem to like it. Turns out Nike is teaming up with EA to start putting NFTs into their video games. And I don't know, man. To me, NFTs are it's a passing fad like Bitcoin. Are they still worth $1 million? I don't even know what the hell's going on.
Nah, NFTs died.
A lot of that stuff crashed. Yeah.
No, so
But
this
I
so
brought
this-
up a point years ago when they first came out on how they can be used in video games, and EA would be a good example. So let's say that they put them in FIFA, and right now there's plenty of people spending thousands of dollars a year opening packs on FIFA. Let's say those packs that they opened were NFTs, and say you got Ronaldo as an NFT, and then you bought the new FIFA. Well, your NFT carries over to the new FIFA because you've already got that,
Yeah.
and it's in the new game. You don't have to rebuy it. That would be cool because right now, if you spend 10 grand on FIFA 23 and you buy the new one, you got to start again. And there's a
So-
lot of people that do this.
so these microtransactions, you're buying players. Is that how it works?
Basically,
Yeah.
like people talked about this and being able to swap them between games, but that just wouldn't work because different games use different assets, and it just really wouldn't work. But in annual sport titles, it works. Like there's a wrestling cards that do this. It's called I forget the mode name, but NBA have got a certain system. There'd be a similar thing in the Madden games. So there could be a way that this could work in EA games if they do it right.
I know there's a PS3 title, Superstars of Wrestling or Legends of Wrestling, where it's just a bunch of old players or old wrestlers on the same video game. Do they have? Can you get like legacy old school players on the modern FIFA games?
Yeah.
Like I don't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you can get
you can pay for them.
microtransactions. You can get Pele.
Or you can pay to get keys to open boxes to get a chance to get them.
Alright. I know a couple soccer players. David Beckham is he still playing?
No, he's like in his 50s these days.
I don't know, man. Shit.
He's I believe he owns the team Inter Miami in America.
So could you get him as a playable character?
You'd be
or
able to
not?
get David Beckham in FIFA as a playable character. He'd be like one of the legend packs.
1% chance to get it out of a pack.
Yeah, like I don't spend money on these things, so I never get the legend players. But,
Can you trade for them, or can you buy them? Or
there's a marketplace on the game, so if you get a really good card, you can put it up at your price. You can auction it. You can put it up for market value.
so sort of like that CS:GO bullshit from back in the day.
It actually gets really interesting. So I'm into soccer, so I watch videos about this. But like there's been certain FIFAs where there's been like one of one cards that FIFA make for certain players, and they give them to the player, and the player turns around and gives them to like their brother in real life, and the brother like goes to school and gives it to their friends, and then suddenly this one of one card goes into like the public system, and it's been traded and goes for like hundreds and hundreds of dollars or even thousands of dollars sometimes. So it's quite interesting.
It should be nice to get the code and make up your own player, or just or just reprint them. It's the age of the reprint. Well, might as well. Yeah, shit.
There's
Anything
a
else?
whole world behind digital skins and stuff. Like we rarely touched on Counter-Strike skins on this podcast, but that's like almost $1 billion industry these days.
Yeah.
Insane. You're a Steam player, Kleen. Do you get into the Steam marketplace at all yourself?
I stay away from microtransactions like that. Yeah. I would spend too much money if I let myself do that. So yeah.
I like how a lot of Steam games give you items for free,
Mm.
and you can then turn around and sell those items.
Yeah,
And,
my
like,
brother is big into that.
I look at games that I've played like 10 years ago, and I've looked and suddenly you've got these items, but because you haven't played for so long, they're worth a bit of money, which is kind of cool. I turned around and sold old CS:GO skins for like $10 a pop that I got for free and different things like that.
Yeah, my brother's into that with Team Fortress 2 hats. It's like,
Yep.
he's got a couple that are worth like 100 or 200, something like that.
I'm pretty sure that was the first online marketplace,
Yeah.
Team Fortress 2.
Yeah.
And hats, it's absolutely insane. Like, I watched a video where like the marketplace collapsed one night, and like people took them to court, and
How do people exchange these things? You say is
On Steam.
yeah. So Steam have got their own marketplace for this. It's like a stock trading marketplace basically, but for items in your inventory.
Learn something new every day. I've learned a lot about PC gaming.
So, like Fortnite skins, for example, that's why people talked about them being so prevalent. But if you were to sell them on console, the only way to do that is to sell your PSN account or your Xbox account. And people do that.
Yeah.
I've always mused because I got quite a few delisted games on my console, on my PS3 console, and I've always mused, maybe my account's worth a extra buck or two, but generally people trying to sell their accounts along with their consoles don't get anything extra for them. I mean, I a lot on OfferUp or Marketplace. So I'm selling my console, blah blah blah. It has all these games on it digitally, so I'm going to put it for $500 instead of it's like, dude, no one wants your account with these shitty Call of Duty games.
I think the only game that has value behind it is PT until someone buys one and rips it and makes it available for everyone.
Has that been done yet?
I don't think so, because PT still, like, those consoles are going for thousands of dollars, at least as far as I'm aware.
How come my PS3 with the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on it isn't worth thousands?
Because you can illegally go on websites and download it.
Yeah, I get, but PT isn't available illegally.
I don't know. Maybe it is, but there was a certain point where like consoles with PT on it were going for thousands of dollars.
I don't even know what the current state of modding is for PS4. We need to get a PS4 modder on here because I got questions. You have any? No, I guess I was going to ask if you had any hacked consoles, but do you have any emulators you run?
I have a modded Wii.
Oh, you do?
Use, yeah.
Do you run any emulators on your PC at all?
Not really, no.
No. I guess a Switch emulator just dropped, and Dolphin's in trouble.
People are getting sued left, right, and center.
Yeah.
I would be afraid as hell to download Switch ROMs. Nintendo will send a SWAT team into your house.
You're going to be doing that. You pretty much have to only play offline.
Yeah.
I think at one point I downloaded the entire. Oh,
one's revealed himself.
No, no. Someone else, anyone else, please. That's Andy. I was just busting his balls. We love you, Andy. But no, I downloaded the entire NES library. It's not. It's relatively small. Really yeah. Tiny. And
even the full PS1 library would be tiny. It's not until you get to I think the PS2 library is like 1.5 terabytes or something.
Well, DVDs were like 4.7 gigs, I believe. So I don't know. It depends on the game.
Yeah, but most games would have taken up a fraction of the total memory of the DVD.
If you don't mind, I got a couple last things I wanted to show.
Oh yeah,
go for it, man.
So one of these, story behind it is, I was just randomly scrolling through eBay and I found these two, which are Devil May Cry game. This is the HD trilogy, and this is just normal Devil May Cry, and they're bundled with phone cases.
I was going to say, what's going on there? Yeah, I can see that.
So this one is sealed, so it's kind of hard to see. But yeah, they're phone cases, and so I found these two on eBay, and they were hella expensive. So I messaged the seller. It was like a Polish seller, and he had a bunch of rare stuff. And I was asking him like, would you tell me where you got these, or like how you got these? And he was kind of being a prick. He was like, I bought them, smiley face. Like he wouldn't really give me any info. But eventually he told me they're from Taiwan. So that led me to checking Shopee Taiwan, and I was able to find this sold on Shopee. So I'm 90% sure that's where he got this. There was one single copy of this one on Shopee, and it was recently sold. So I'm pretty sure he just used a proxy service to order this and then listed it on eBay for way more than he paid. So yeah, I've only ever seen a single copy of this one for the trilogy. But this one, there was like, I want to say 5 or 6 on there. And there's 2 different designs that I've found too. There's this one, this is the same artist that Australian slipcover I showed earlier. But yeah, there's different, like you can see these are different sizes. Like one is for Android, one's for iPhone, etc. So I used a proxy service to order like 4 of these, gave 2 of them to Figsy. And yeah, these are Taiwan exclusive. So pretty hard to know exactly how rare they are because I don't know a Taiwanese person to ask, but they're pretty hard to get your hands on, especially this one.
It's super interesting because, like, it makes sense. Everyone's got a smartphone, so what can you bundle a game with that you can also bundle with that, like, people are still going to buy?
Yeah, I've never seen another game that did that. Another thing I found on there while I was going through Shopee Taiwan, because I figured if I was going to do an order from a proxy service, I should try to find as much as possible in one shipment. And these are, I really like Final Fantasy 13. I'm one of those weird people that likes that game. So these are download code, or were download codes, they're probably expired, for dashboard themes for the PS3.
Ooh, oh, that's so cool.
And you can see on the back, it says like download premium XMB, blah, blah, has English and Chinese. But yeah, they're pretty small. Like,
have you tried them?
No, I haven't. But it says on the back, I think I was reading, it says on the back they expired a while ago.
Yeah,
like funny, sometimes they say that, but they don't actually expire.
Yeah, I should try them. It says valid until 26 May 2011.
Who knows? It might work. Because everything, pretty much everything for PS3 is expired, but sometimes those downloads still work.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure these would be the only way to get these themes, because I don't think these were ever like you can see the art. I don't think these themes were ever like released on the digital store. I could be wrong on that, but it'd be pretty interesting if these are like the only ways you ever got those themes.
It's super cool, but regardless.
Do you chase any consoles, Kleen, or is it just games?
I stay away from consoles and big box stuff.
Yeah. I got you.
Last thing I wanted to show that has a bit of a story with it. So one of the not more expensive but rarer or harder to get NTSC games is this double pack of Sports Champions and Medieval Moves. And this is a Mexican exclusive. So the story of how I got this is I was talking earlier, I used to play a lot of Call of Duty, and one of my teammates he lived in El Paso, Texas at the time, right by the border. But now he lives in Juarez, which is like, just south of the Mexican-U.S. border. So he lives in Mexico, and he commutes to the U.S. every day for work. So I hit him up. I was like, yo, can you order these? They were on it's called Mercado Libre. I'm probably not saying that right. It's like a Mexican eBay.
Mercado Libre.
Yeah.
I was thinking of that before. I'll bring something up in a second.
Yeah, and so there were quite a few copies of this, but that's the only place I could find it for a long time. So I was like, okay, I just got to get him off there. So I had him order them, and he literally just like brought them across the border and shipped them from inside the U.S.
Smuggled them across.
Yeah, which was super useful because out of all the countries I've tried to get stuff out of, Mexico is one of the biggest pains in the ass to try to get stuff shipped out of. Like, it's just really hard. So that was super helpful. And I actually have, if you don't mind that it doesn't have a manual and it has a scratch disc, I have an extra one if somebody wants. Just hit me up on Discord.
One game I want out of Mexico is the Black Label Grand Theft Auto. The San Andreas. Yeah, because I'm not here for that red label trend.
So you were mentioning before, Kleen, that you use the proxy service to get games out of Asia. That Mercado Libre is the same in South America, where like Mercado Libre will have Brazil, and then they'll have like Ecuador and Venezuela, and every country you have to be in that country to order out of it. So it's so difficult to get games in some countries. It's like, is anyone in Uruguay? Because I want to buy something.
Yeah.
I gotta look into these proxies.
Yeah, the one I used for Taiwan it was called like Taiwan Easy Star. It's just seems like a single guy that does it on the side, but it wasn't too expensive, honestly. It was like 10% of item value and then like very reasonable shipping fee on the top of that. So it didn't like double the price or anything.
Pretty much like what I do for collectors, just charging for it.
Yeah.
Fix
Call it a proxy service.
Australian proxy. Shit, yeah. I'm gonna next time somebody across the pond wants something, I'm gonna, you have to pay my proxy fee, fucker. 15%.
15%. Will spiked it up.
No, it's inflation.
This is America.
It's inflation, man. It is what it is. No.
A couple other things I could show to preach the idea that you can still find deals on eBay. This is, it's Mexican, right? Figsy, Alma de Soldados.
Yeah.
This is like Saint Seiya Soldier's Soul, I think. And this can go on eBay for like, I want to say like 60 to 80 sometimes. But this is sealed, and I found this for, I think it was 10 or 15 bucks. So that was super, super cool. Nice. Another one is, these are, funny story with these. When I first got these, I was completely convinced they were fake. Because you know, Figsy, how some Brazilian games are just super scuffed. Like the seal is weird and like.
It has Blu-ray up the top of the case.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So for months, I got these in for months. I put them on the side and I was like, oh man, fake games. Because they were like $10 for both of them. But yeah, this one especially there's a PAL version of this. Might have sitting here.
Move Mine Benders?
Yeah, Move Mine Benders is the PAL version, but this is the only other English version besides the PAL one. And the PAL one it's not super cheap. But
it is. It's like a $10 game maybe.
Is it really? Took me a while to find it for a decent price. It's interesting.
It's just a rare game. But what's interesting is that includes Endochrome, which is like a $200 game by itself. Yeah. And you could pick up this version for like $10-20.
Yeah. But
it just really goes to show that the price isn't decided by the game. It's by like the artificial scarcity of the product.
But you can even see like the printing. Some Brazilian games are so scuffed, like super off center.
That's a sealed game.
Yeah, and the seal is like, it's not like a normal PS3 seal. It's like this thicker plastic.
It's almost worth opening that one just to put the artwork in, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, just looking at that bothers me.
Yeah, that's why I thought they were fake. But it's because Brazil produced their own stuff for PS3, right? So they
well, the factory's actually in. I think Luis was saying it's in Mexico. They're done. All South American games are produced in Mexico.
Okay, yeah. So they just didn't have the same quality control at all.
And they decide their own ratings. Like, there's R18 games that are like G8, or I don't know what the Brazilian equivalent is, but like they get kids ratings because there's just terrible regulation in those countries.
Anything else you got for us, Kleen?
I mean, I could keep showing stuff all night, but you guys got to cut me off. I could end on this. This is one thing we found in GameStop back in the day. This came with the collector's edition, I believe, for Drakengard 3. It's just a pretty cool cover variant. It's pretty expensive these days.
Cool to find one in the wild. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've got it at GameStop for like $15 back in the day.
Unfortunately, it's still got that blue label on it.
Yeah, I mean,
it is what it is, though. But yeah, we were always musing if the collector's edition had the blue label on it. No, that's the first time I've ever seen one outside of the.
No, I've been aware of it. The PAL one doesn't, but the North American one. No, Kleen, it's been a pleasure, man. If anyone wants to reach out to Kleen, Kleen's on the Discord group. He's one of the admins over there. He's friendly. Feel free to send him a message, and I'm sure he'll be happy to trade with people.
Yep.
Very happy to have you on, Kleen. Thanks for coming on this evening. You're a great guest.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for watching.